everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different, as I'm sure you know if you've clicked on this title. I'm going to be talking about acid reflux, gastritis, and how it affects your breathing, because I've had such a bad experience with acid reflux and I really feel like I need to share my story and it should get out there, because I feel like not a lot of doctors realize the severity of acid reflux and what it can actually do to your breathing and swelling in your body. So I'll just give you a little bit of a backstory. So last year, just when COVID hit, just when my country, Luxembourg, went into lockdown, I got food poisoning. Now, just like bear in mind, I've had acid reflux before. I feel like everyone's had acid sometimes in their life, you know, if they eat something too spicy or eat a lot of chocolate, I don't know, but you know, I feel like everyone's had it. But basically, yeah, I got really sick. I threw up so much. I was vomiting so much. And, you know, then I got, like, I had, like, fever and everything. So I got tested for COVID. I thought it was COVID. It wasn't. And then, like, 2 days afterwards, when I was trying to go to sleep, I had this, like, really uncomfortable feeling, like, kind of like a pain, but not so much. It was more of an uncomfortable, like, restricted feeling when I was breathing in and out. And, you know, I stayed there for like 3-4 hours. I was like, okay, it's not going away. You know, I have anxiety, so I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe I'm anxious and maybe it's like not actually real. But after like 3-4 hours, I was just like, no, okay, this is not normal. So I called like one of these doctors dig out in here in Luxembourg, we call them. It's like an emergency doctor, like an on-call doctor. And he was like, oh, has something stressed you out recently? And I was like, oh my god, here we go. And I was like, no, you know, I'm stressed now because I have pain while I'm breathing. And he was like, just wait a little bit longer and see if it gets better. So I hung up, and obviously I knew it didn't get better. It wasn't going to get better, and it didn't get better. So yeah, I just waited like another 2 hours. And I decided that, okay, I have to go to the hospital because I can't like deal with this. By the way, just quickly, this video is probably going to be a long one, so I would get something to drink, get something to eat, because yeah, this is definitely going to be a long one. I don't want to leave any details out because I'm hoping this might help someone too. Yeah, so anyway, so I gone to the hospital. Long story short, they gave me oxygen. They never actually told me if my oxygen levels were low, but they gave me oxygen, and it didn't help. Actually, it was actually kind of making it worse because I was lying down and the pressure was like way too much. So then they decided, they said to me, oh, we're not going to do an x-ray of your lungs. And they gave me anxiety medication. They gave me like this one pill that obviously made me feel good, but it didn't get rid of the pain. So they sent me to see a specialist. I went to see a specialist, a lung doctor, pulmonologist, and he said that I had like air, like kind of trapped, like you can see air trapped between my chest and my stomach, like in the diaphragm area. So he gave me Pentamide, and that's like a little bit like Nexium, you know. It's a medication to stop your stomach from producing so much acid. So I had 40 milligrams, and strangely enough, I started to take that and it went away. I didn't have that pain after like 3-4 days. I think the pain went away, and he never really said he never asked me if I had acid or anything. Anyway, so I kept eating on the same diet, going about my life. And then I think last year in about like August, I was at work and I just started to cough, and I could hear like wheezing while I was coughing, and I was like, that's strange, like I don't feel like I have any breathing problems. And I was just like, okay, you know, like, but I was getting a little bit worried because it kept happening. So I went to my doctor, and she said that I should go back to the lung doctor. So I did, and he did like the lung function test and everything like that, and they didn't find anything. So he said, you know, there's nothing wrong, it's okay, just keep taking your Pentamide, 40 milligrams a day and whatever. So I kept having it, but I wasn't really having any breathing problems. You know, it was just sometimes when I would cough, I could just hear a little bit of wheezing, which was kind of weird. But I brushed it aside because they told me, you know, it was okay. And then it was like November, that pain started to come back when I would breathe, and I would get such bad shortness of breath, like it was terrible. And at this point, I wasn't having any acid reflux. So I didn't know what it was. Then I went to my doctor, and because, like, my general doctor, and because I was on 40 milligrams of pantoside, she started to question that maybe it was like stomach problems. So because she said that basically when the acid, sometimes the acid can reach, like, go up really high into your throat, and then it goes down into your trachea and into your lungs, and basically it causes swelling, and that's what causes the wheezing, because your lungs or your airways are inflamed. So she recommended me to have a endoscopy done, which I did in like December, 1 month later, and they said I had gastritis and I had a hiatal hernia, but it was small, so they didn't have to operate and get rid of it. So they changed my medication to Nexium 40 milligrams for 2 months, and then they made me go down to 20 milligrams. All this time it was getting so bad. Like, my breathing was getting so much worse, the medication wasn't helping, and then I really started to have bad acid. So I changed my diet, you know, I stopped eating spicy things, I stopped drinking anything like acidic, no chocolate, you know, like really rarely I would have anything that was on the list to provoke acid, you know. So I did everything by the rules, or whatever you want to say. But it was getting worse, and it was just to a point where I couldn't go to work anymore. I was having such bad breathing problems, I was so stressed, and I just didn't know what to do. So I went back to my doctor, and well, of course, they told me, oh, you know, it's probably just your anxiety, you know, it's probably, you know, it's probably just stressing. Sometimes stress can make things worse. So I was like, okay, because my doctor's really nice, so I was like, okay, you know, maybe she's right, whatever. But then it was like, I think 2 weeks later, I sent her an email, and I was like, you know what, no, it's not in my head, like, this is too much for me, like, I can't breathe properly, it really hurts me. Any small exercise I do really hurts. So then I had to go back to the lung specialist, and I ended up having bronchitis. And basically it's because the repeated acid kept going into my lungs, and it caused bronchitis. Now, then that's when things started to get more serious, because I had to take steroids, inhaled steroids for 2 months, and I did that for about 2 months, and it did help with the wheezing and everything like that. But as soon as I stopped it, it came back, and it came back much worse. So I remember I said about the pain that I was having here in my throat. Well, it would get worse. After a while, doctors kind of get like tired. They're like, oh, well, we've tried this, we've tried that, you know, maybe it really just now is in your head. Like, you're just worried about the fact that you've had this before, and you're just constantly thinking that you're gonna have it again, or that you have it again. So they kept brushing it off, and I decided to change doctors because I knew it wasn't in my head. I was literally at this point where I wanted to be put to sleep. Like, I was having so much pain every time I'd breathe in. I mean, I still have it now, by the way, but we'll get to that. Every time I would breathe in and out, I would literally have so much pain. Like, I was crying, like, with my boyfriend as well. Like, I was crying so much. I didn't know what to do. So I ended up going to emergency room again, and this was in March of this year. I explained it to them and everything, and of course they looked at my oxygen levels. They said they were normal. So they gave me like Nexium in an IV drip, and like paracetamol and stuff, and they kept coming in and they're like, how is it now? And I was like, it's not better. Like, I knew that the Nexium and the paracetamol wasn't going to do anything, because it's not like, it wasn't a pain, you know, it was the constricted. It was like someone was like, took a little rope and tied it around your throat, and it's just like tightening it. Like, my head would hurt, my chest would start to hurt, you know. So yeah, so to that point, then they sent me home, and they told me to go to a lung specialist. Of course, I'd already done that, so I did not go again for the 4th time to see the lung specialist, because, you know, he's just going to tell me the same thing. So I decided to do my own research, because no one was listening to me, and clearly no one really wanted to help. So I saw something that was called larginal reflux. So basically it's when the reflux doesn't just affect like the esophagus and the stomach, that it goes up to here and it affects like the throat. And most of those people don't have really bad burning sensations. they just have like, for example, chronic cough or constantly clearing your throat, which I do, post-nasal drip, asthma-like symptoms for my case, you know, bronchitis, and then obviously there's the more severe ones like pneumonia. And I feel like these things are not looked at enough. And the reason why I actually wanted to do this video is because I've looked at so many acid reflux videos or patients that have had surgery and all that kind of stuff, and I've never seen anyone talk about having like asthma-like symptoms or breathing problems and stuff. So I was like, I'm pretty sure there must be someone else out there that had the same problems as me. So I'm really just hoping that this gets to someone that maybe needs the help or is being told that they're crazy too. So yeah, so I did my research and I read about that. And I went to go see an ENT doctor where they look down, you know, your throat with the camera and look at the vocal cords and all of that. So I did, and he confirmed that the back of my tongue and my vocal cords were really inflamed and swollen. So I had to take another steroid inhaler that was basically going to get the inflammation down here. So the pain that I was feeling was real, and it was literally because my vocal cords were inflamed that it would hurt when I breathe. So I had to do that, and then I had to go up to 80 milligrams of Nexium a day, and I'm still on 80 milligrams of Nexium a day, by the way. And I I take about like I was taking about 8 sachets of Gaviscon a day, but I just can't stomach it, like it gives me so much nausea. So I'm taking about 5 a day. I try to take the minimum, but if I don't take it, then my breathing problems get really bad because it just doesn't keep the acid down. Yeah, so I went to him and he said, okay, we're gonna have to do pH study test. And it's basically where they put this, it's like a little camera that goes into your throat. It doesn't go all the way down to your stomach, this one, because it's not to check like how bad the acid is in the esophagus. It's to check how much it's going up into the throat. So I wore that for 24 hours, and you get this little booklet like this, and you have to write down like what you eat, when you go to sleep, the medication you take, and you keep it in for 24 hours. And most of the time when you do these kind of tests, you have to stop taking all medication so that it can get the most accurate results. Now, I didn't, so I was taking the 80 milligrams of Nexium a day. And when I went back to the doctor with the results, he said like, okay, like, yeah, there's after 80 milligrams of Nexium, you're still getting so much acid that's coming up, and it's literally, every time it's hitting the back of my throat, it's inflaming my vocal cords to the point where I can't breathe properly. So he said the only option is surgery. So I was like, okay. So in my eyes, I feel like, okay, well, it's an urgent surgery, right? We're not gonna have to wait like 5 or 6 months. I can't deal with this pain or these breathing problems for another like 5 or 6 months, you know? So I had to go back to a gastrologist, and he said I had to have to do this test, like pH mammatory test, to check my swallowing, and he gave me an appointment for in 2 months. So I was like, okay, 2 months of just that, and then I have to wait how long for the surgery? So I was like, you know what, no one is taking me serious. I'm just gonna go to the surgeon myself and tell him. So I did. I had an appointment with them last week, and they told me my surgery would be on the 5th of August, because obviously taking 80 milligrams of Nexium and all that Gaviscon a day is not good, and especially because it's been like over a year where I've been on medication like that. Sorry, my throat's a little bit dry. So they decided, you know, okay, well, we'll do it on the 5th of August. So you're thinking, oh, okay, you know, it's like the 28th of June now. So it's only like about 5 weeks away. And at that point, I was like, okay, 5 weeks. I can deal with this for another 5 weeks, you know? And I will do another video on talking about, like, going into detail about the surgery, but now I just more want to talk about, like, my symptoms. So that was all fine. I signed the papers to have the surgery done. It's called a toupee. It's not the Nissen fundoplication, because actually the toupee one, it's called a toupee fundoplication, so you can look it up on Google, but I will do a separate video about it. It basically has a less chance of having to redo the surgery or have reoccurrent symptoms. So I was like, okay, I'll wait the 5 weeks, you know. And then I think it was on Thursday, okay. I was like, okay, I had the same pain, but I was like, it was really bad. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is going on? Like, this is much worse than before. It literally felt like I couldn't breathe, you know, and I've been taking my steroids, I've been taking my medication, and I was like, what is going on? So I had to go to the hospital again because I really couldn't breathe. So Thursday night, I spent it in emergency room again, and they gave me steroids in an IV drip, and that really helped get the swelling down. But after 2 hours, they let me out, and it came back again. So since Thursday, I've literally been thinking every day, I'm like, am I gonna die today? Because I don't want to get upset, I'm sorry. Because, you know, like, I'm living with this pain that's so unbearable, and literally feeling like you can't breathe every day, and knowing that it's not actual anxiety, it's not in your head, is really, really scary. Like, it's one of the most scariest things I've experienced. And I can deal with pain, like, I can deal with pain. I promise you I can deal with pain. But this is on a whole other level that you can't imagine. And I'm 100% sure I'm not the only person who's dealt with this. So at that point, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I can't wait 5 weeks. I was like, what if something happens to me? So I decided to email my ENT doctor, who's been the one doctor who's listened to me, who's confirmed that what I'm saying is in fact true, and he's the one that has helped me the most. So I emailed him out of hours, you know. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna give it my best shot and hopefully he'll reply. And to my luck, like to my advantage, he did reply, and he said that the surgery has to be done ASAP, you know, that you can't wait until August, and it has to be done as soon as possible. So tomorrow I'm going to see him. He's going to check my airways, and he's going to write a letter to my surgeon. I don't know if he's going to pull or write a letter to basically say that it has to be done as soon as possible. And, you know, I have to have this done as soon as possible. Obviously I'm nervous to have a surgery done. I've never been put under anesthetic. I've never had broken a bone or anything like that. But to this point, I will do anything to get my life back, you know? We had to cancel our holiday because I can't go on holiday with this. I stopped working last year. I mean, I'm working now again, but I stopped working for about, how many months? About 4 or 5 months. I stopped working because of this, because I couldn't sleep. My food as well, I can't eat anything. Even the most simple things give me acid. I'll have wheezing, I'll have the pain. I have to sleep like sitting up like this. I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't eat sugary things. I don't eat much fruit. I'm tired all the time because of all the medication I have to take. You know, there's so many bad side effects to taking Nexium, and doctors just give it to you like it's nothing, you know, and no one should be taking that much medication. And I'm someone who is the kind of person who's like, when I'm sick, I don't take paracetamol. I just let it go easy because I like to build up my immune system. And God forbid, I don't even want to know what my immune system's like now, especially with COVID going on and everything. So, you know, like, I'm tired all the time. I have no energy. And I'm the kind of person who loves to do things, but my life has literally been put on pause. And it's really made me so depressed, and it's ruined a lot of relationships with friends. You know, it's put a lot of stress on my relationship with my boyfriend, with family, everyone, you know, and it's ruining my life. It's completely ruining my life. Let's just take a minute. So I know that was a long video, and I just really wanted to go all over what I was feeling like and what's been happening. But I just wanted to say, if ever, it doesn't matter if it's the same thing as me, whatever it is, if you are not getting the answers you want, or doctors are not listening to you, I advise you really just to try other doctors, just to keep trying, because when you feel like something's not right with your body, it's because there's something is not right with your body. And if they're telling you, oh, maybe it's in your head, or are you stressed, you know, and even if you're trying all the ways that they said that can maybe help and it's not helping, then that's because it's not stress, and that's because it's not in your head, because you do have something wrong. And you will find a doctor eventually who will help you and who will understand you, and that's what I did. I still have a long road ahead of me, and like I said, I will do a separate video talking about the surgery that I'm going to do and the procedure, and I will be documenting it and letting you know if finally it actually does help me, because I just want my life back. And to be honest, I just want to be able to do the little things, you know, go to the gym without having a problem, you know, eat not like crazy food, but just one time be able to eat out in a restaurant and not have to having breathing problems afterwards, you know, to go on holiday and not have to worry about what I eat, you know, just like the simple things in life, you know, that people take for granted every day. I swear, people should not say, oh, I have to go to the gym, or I have to, you know, go to work. No, you have to say, I get to. Seriously, you get to do it, because there are some people like me and people that have much worse problems than me don't get to do any of those kind of things because of health problems, you know, and we shouldn't take our health for granted. But yeah, this video is to get my story out there and to hopefully make people realize that, you know, that the connection between acid reflux and respiratory disorders, acid reflux and respiratory disorders should be 100% looked at much more. There should be much more research on it. I know there are a few pages online, but for what I've had, I've not seen anything on it. I've heard you can have like laryngitis, or, you know, like pneumonia, bronchitis, all that kind of stuff, but constant pain and all those kind of things, like swelling to the point that you need steroids. I haven't actually seen anything on it. Had to drink some water because I've been talking for I don't know how long. It's probably been like an hour. I don't know also if you hear my voice is kind of like hoarseness, like kind of like deep, and that's also from acid reflux. So I just wanted to say that I hope this video might help someone, and I really wanted to get it out there because I feel like it's important. And yeah, people don't realize the impact of acid reflux. It's not just burning in the stomach, you know, or like chest pain, because sometimes you can get chest pain from acid reflux. I'm talking about full-on breathing problems. And yeah, I really hope this helps someone. And if anyone has any questions, like, I would be happy to answer them. You can leave them down below. And I will be doing, like I said, a second video on the surgery that I'm gonna have, and I will document the process and let you guys know if it does help and if my symptoms improve, and that maybe I'll never have to take that stupid medication again, because I just want to throw it all in the fucking bin. Like, sorry for swearing, but I can't wait to not have to take steroids anymore. It is just stressful as F, you know, AF. But yeah, if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for listening to me and for sticking around. As I said, it's a long video, and you know, I really appreciate everyone that does watch it, and I appreciate everyone that has subscribed to my channel. And I'm sorry for not doing a video sooner, but I have been obviously dealing with some health problems that, you know, I couldn't pretend to be good or pretend to be happy and just film some more YouTube videos or like Gymshark hauls. However, I do have another Gymshark haul coming because I got some stuff from the sale and the new release of the Gymshark training collection. So I will be doing a video when I get those, just kind of lighten up the mood. But anyway, so I just want to say thank you again, and we'll see what the doctor has to say tomorrow and what's the next steps. But yeah, if anyone else is having maybe similar problems to me or anything like that, I would happily like speak to you. You know, you can leave any questions you have down in the comments below, and I would appreciate like no mean comments, because this was kind of hard for me to share. and to be honest, I think I did better than I thought I would. I didn't cry because I think I've used up all my tears. But yeah, so I hope this was helpful, and I really hope to see you in my next video. And if you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment down below something else that you would like me to film. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you will have a nice day.